Kevin do that time and time again.
In here tonight when it's OKC is doing what they do, like you say, don't give up on the game, and he hits such huge shots. Let me speak to that a little bit.
Well, I just think the ability to be in the right spot, like those corner threes he got, they were switching and they went small. When you have him and Book on the same side, you have to pick which one you want to help off of or help to, because DA puts a lot of pressure on the rim. But then, the shots off the dribble, posting up, like there's not a way that he can't score. And I think the thing that's nobody talks about with those kinds of players, they want those shots. They're so used to having the ball in their hands. It's, I wouldn't call it a luxury because I don't want to disrespect those moments, but guys work their tails off to be ready for those shots, and he and Book are a case in point. So that's what Kevin does. I'm still surprised at how many people, why they boo him here. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I think this fan base is one that I've respected for a long time, and I get it when you lose a guy like Kevin. I think at some point, though, you have to appreciate, what he meant to this organization. I know how tough it is to lose players because I've been in that position before when we lost Chris, but I just think he loves this city. He knows what Sam and this organization meant to him, and I hope someday they can appreciate him. And I know it's not everybody, but when you hear that, you're like, man, that's, I know it's the environment that we're in today, but that was, I just feel for him because I know these people. I lived here, and I know what they meant to me and my family. And so I just feel for him because I know he has nothing but love for these people. He just made a decision.
I'm sorry, because I just wanted to follow it up with two things. One, Chris being able to find him on the backside threes, and then two, Durant's chase down block, because that could have easily got it to 5.
It was amazing. It was one of those momentum-changing plays, and I learned that phrase here with Billy Donovan. He always talked about momentum-changing plays, and that was I don't know what the difference in the score was, but they had some momentum. But that play, it's almost like the play against Kyrie in Dallas. Kyrie has a free lane to the basket, and Kevin comes out of nowhere and blocks it with his left hand, I think. So we're just, I've said this before about him. He's more than an offensive player. It's just that his offensive is so great. Sometimes you forget about his defense.
Curious with the defensively. I know that's what they do. They score it, but
yeah,
how would you assess that?
I don't know. 41 free throws. There's a part of me where I'm just like, our guys are doing their best. We're staying in front of him. He draws the contact and he gets to the line. So I don't know what else to. I'm certainly not going to say anything crazy and lose any more money. I'm done with that. I just think our guys. We did a decent job. There were times where the one where Torrey got hit in the face, he did reach on that one. So you have to, not all of the fouls are like offensive fouls. I wouldn't argue that. But I think the ones that when you're in a defensive position, you're just trying to keep the guy in front. That's all you can do. But it's just the way it is.
The last thing I had was, obviously now it's not only just 6-0 with him, but you guys on the run 5. So just maybe speak to that a little bit.
I'd like the wins. We always talk about that. We're grateful for every win that we get. But I'm more concerned with the wins and how we play. We had a 2-for-1 situation at the end of the third. That's not what we do. We usually execute those well. And then they trapped Book a couple of times, and we didn't get to our spots quick enough the way that we need to. So I love the wins, and we got to keep winning just based on where we are. At the same time, I want to be able to win and stack solid as best as we can. That's something we've talked about all year, just continuing to stack solid so that we can get a rhythm. And I think if we do that and the guys get used to playing with one another, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, well, thing I didn't get a chance to ask you before they came about Popovich finally being inducted to the Hall of Fame this year.
I just think it's the coolest thing. I'm so happy for him. He won't talk about it. He won't tell you how much he's honored by it. I think once he gets in that position, he will. But for people like me who've been around him and seen the impact that he's had on the game of basketball and being able to win at that level for so long, for him to finally be recognized, I think it's a treat for him, for the kids, for the grandkids, for the people in San Antonio. And I think it's cool that he's being inducted with, I think, Tony and Becky. I mean, the only thing better would have been, doing it with Tim. But those would have been two of the shortest speeches in the history of the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. But I'm so happy for him. I hope I get to, we'll see him here soon. And I just know what he's meant to the game. I know what he's meant to so many coaches and their families, not just in the NBA, but around the world, because he's had such a huge impact on so many people. And you want to talk about a guy who's used his platform for the betterment of people. I think that's why we're here. And so for him to finally be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I'm probably more happy than he is, because I'd have people ask me, like, what do you think about Pop not being in yet? What do you think? And I would just be like, I don't know, man. I don't understand the criteria. Talking about the best coach, maybe the best coach in the history of the game, or at least in our generation. I know there's a toss-up between he and Coach Jackson, but I'm just grateful that I know him, and I'm glad he's finally in.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah.